Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. So today we're going to have a discussion about wells. Something that I encounter. If you are off grid, or if you rural living, or if you're living on a well, we're going to have to give you this disclosure. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a professional well. I'm just a landowner. I'm just a property owner. But I just want to share with you something that I encountered. We won't go through the wiring process because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So I'm just going to go through and share with you this special thing that I encountered. And if you don't know what this special thing is, please stay tuned. What you see here is an illustration of a well setup, and the pressure switch is where we're going to be focused on, if you notice that right here. So the water pumps from the motor, then it goes up the casing. From the casing, it goes all the way up through the small piping. Notice the piping decrease in size, which allows more pressure to build. And here it enters into the pressure switch. When the water comes into the pressure switch, it goes into the tank. And from the pressure tank, there's a bladder that pushes down and it has air in it. And once it meets its maximum air pressure and water pressure, the pressure switch switches the well motor off. This is the water well pressure switch that I have for my unit. This is the old one that I had to replace. And you'll see a box. You'll see a pipe. Sometimes it'll be a T, like a pipe coming up here and a pipe going across here. Mine goes directly in line with it. Now this pipe comes from the well. So you got the well water coming in, and it monitors the pressure. So water comes in here, and then it pushes up a rubber bladder in there, and you can simply take it off by unscrewing here. You have to get your wrench, of course, but this one I have already taken off. It's much easier. And then you take off the cover. You'll also notice that you'll have wiring coming in here directly from the pump, the well itself. So the well wiring will come through here, and the wiring to your actual power box or your control box will be coming in through here. Okay, here I don't have, well, the screws, they discolored because it's old. It's been on here for about 2 years, but they're typically green. You'll see 2 green screws here. That is your ground, and I don't know if you can see it. Like I said, this is a used one, but when you see that, that's a symbol of ground. Okay, so whenever you see something like that, that's ground. Typically ground is green or it's bare wire. These two here are for your, this goes directly to your well pump for my particular brand. Now this does not, so how this works for your is brand. Water comes here, it creates a pressure, and then you have these springs here. This spring is your main spring you want to be worried about. Some of them will have this spring and may not have this one. This allows you to adjust pressure when it cuts on and cuts off. So this switch cuts on your well or it turns off your well. So it turns it off and it turns it on. Here, right here, if you look here, let's look at it from this angle. Look here. When it's open, it's off. When it's closed, it's running. Now on here you have some little tips, and if you can look real closely, these tips have worn for my situation. That was the issue. These little tips had worn right there. If you can look in there, they're worn up right up in here. What I had to do is I had to replace it. Now how it works is, like I said, water will come in here. So water be coming in here, and it pushes up with pressure. And then as the pressure pushes, it then, pay attention right here. You're going to see these come back when I pull this up, okay? See that open up? That opens up. When enough pressure is in that line, then it opens up and the pump shuts off. When that happens, the pump shuts off. And then as the water pressure slowly decreases, it cuts the pump right back on. So that's how it works. It's a switch. When the pressure is there, it's open. That means no connection. And when the pressure is not there, it turns it back on, means a connection, and it turns it on. Some switches will have a lever over here to the side. Where I am, this particular model does not have it. I really don't need that. That's mainly for to keep you burning your pump if you have a dry well, or if you experience a frequent dry well. Here in Florida, we get a lot of rain, y'all. So I just kind of want to show you this and show you basically how it works. And this is a water well pressure switch. And this was one of my problems that I encountered while I had the well. I have done multiple things, and I'll kind of show you as we push along some of those things that I encountered. So real easy fix. This little thing right here costs anywhere from $30 to $40, depending on your area. So real easy fix. It just takes probably about maybe 20-30 minutes to replace.